Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We Group 4 will present our report analysis of an article that uses the Van Leeuwen framework for CDA. The research article is application of the Van Leeuwen's critical discourse analysis in Liputan6.com news on the dissolution of BSNP. The study aims to analyze and discuss the use of language in the text of the news published on September 3, 2021 using the framework of Van Leeuwen's CDA model. The discourse structure of the model includes exclusion and inclusion. In exclusion strategies, an actor, either a person or a group, is excluded in the talks and in the text of the discourse. The inclusion strategy discusses how an actor, either group or someone, is featured in the text of the discourse reported. Now let's move on to the data collection. The data was collected using textual analysis. The analyzed text is the news presented by Liputan6.com about the dissolution of the BSNP. The text was analyzed based on the categories of exclusion and inclusion strategies introduced by the Van Leeuwen.
Now let's analyze the context of BSNP's dissolution through social, cultural, and historical perspectives. Socially, this decision sparked public debate, but media coverage like Liputan6.com mainly highlights the government's justification while minimizing opposing voices. Culturally, education policy should be transparent and inclusive. However, the media framed this change as a simple restructuring, making centralized control seem normal. Historically, BSNP was established in 2005 but was dissolved in 2021, showing a pattern of increasing state control. The media focuses on policy continuity instead of addressing the risks of losing independent oversight. Overall, the media legitimizes the government's decision, suppresses critical perspectives, and reinforces state authority, shaping public perception in favor of the dominant ideology.
We have two strategies on it. First is exclusion strategy or removing actor from the discourse. Using first is pacification, making sentence passive to hide the responsible party. Next is nominalization, using noun like dissolution to emphasize event rather than the people behind them. Next is sentence clause replacement or replacing actor with subordinate clause to reduce their visibility. The second strategy is inclusion strategy or highlighting actor using first is differentiation in differentiation, comparing actor or generalizing them. Next is objectification and abstraction. It's presenting information correctly and visually. Next is nomination and categorization, showing actor natural and emphasize their attribute. Next is assimilation and individualization, portraying actor as a group or as individuals. Next is determination and indetermination, mentioning actor clearly or making them anonymous. And the last is association and dissociation, linking actor to large group or separating them from it.
Let's move on to the next material, namely Step 4, Ideological Analysis. The analysis of BSNP's dissolution using Van Leeuwen's approach reveals how ideology is embedded in news through exclusion and inclusion strategies. The government is centralized as the main actor, while opposition and affected parties are marginalized. This creates a pro-government bias, where official statements dominate, shaping public perception. Selective fact presentation reinforces a dominant narrative, influencing how society understands power dynamics. Ultimately, the news constructs ideologies that legitimize authority while minimizing alternative perspectives.
Next, step 5, interpretation of findings. First, language and representation. The study found that Liputan6.com strategically used exclusion like pacification and nominalization to obscure actors and inclusion like categorization, association to emphasize certain viewpoints. Second, power dynamics. Dominant groups shape narratives by using passive voice to remove agency, to making responsibility unclear. Third, social change and ideology. The framing of events influences public perception, reinforcing or challenging social, and political narratives. So for the conclusions, the study reveals that Liputan6.com's coverage of BSNP's dissolution employs exclusion to obscure roles and inclusion to shape image. This confirms that language is a tool for both maintaining and challenging power, making this approach valuable for future media discourse studies.